Hello my gorgeous plant people, welcome back to Reading Mindfully. My name is Yana and today I'm going over my July favorites, so let's just get into it. Hey guys, like I said, today I'm doing my July favorites, and the first plant I actually don't have on the table because it is actually too large, and it is my I was going to say Alocasia. It is my Aglaonema Silverado. This plant is one of my favorite Aglaonemas of all time. I did get this plant from an Etsy seller, the Green Millennium. My mom actually brought this plant for me last year for my birthday, and this is just one of my favorite Aglaonemas. Like I said, I just love the subtletiness of this plant. Just having the lighter shades of greens mixed in with the silver. This plant is absolutely gorgeous. I actually had stumbled on this plant by accident. I was watching one of Harley G's videos with her sister, and her sister had a smaller version of this plant, and I just had to find out what it was. So I was scrolling through the comment section, and that's when someone was like, it's a Silverado. So I scoured the internet all over, across the internet for this plant, and hardly anyone was selling it. And I just happened to see it, or my mom saw it on the Green Millennium, and she had it only in a 10 or 12 inch pot. And I was just like, I fell in love with that plant. And little did I know, my mom actually had bought it for me for my birthday, and I was so surprised. I actually do have a video on that on the channel. It's in one of her birthday haul videos. So it was weird that she bought me a plant for her birthday. But like I said, I just love this plant. For some reason, like I mentioned before, Aglaonemas really do well for me in 10 inch pots or higher. For some reason, when I get the Aglaonemas in like a 6 inch pot or lower, it just does not do well for me. They don't grow as fast, they don't grow as well, they lose a lot of leaves. And I just find that when I get a plant, or Aglaonema specifically, in a 10 inch pot or higher, they just do a lot better. I guess they're more established, they grow a lot faster, they're always putting on leaves. So from now on, if I see Aglaonema, I'm only getting the bigger sizes because those are what works for me. But that is my first plant. My second plant is, of course, my Staghorn Fern. I feel like I haven't talked about this plant in a while, but I just love Staghorn Ferns. I love them so much that I actually have two. I did have three, but I combined one of them because I didn't want so many, and I wanted a bigger Staghorn Fern. But this is what my Staghorn Fern looks like. It is so beautiful. I always recommend Staghorn Ferns for beginner fern parents just because they are a lot easier to take care of. They are lower light accepting plants, so you don't have to worry about boosting so much light. And as long as you don't let them dry out too much, they do well. They also still do well if you do forget to water them every once in a while. But this is the plant or fern that I'd recommend besides like a bird's nest fern for a beginner. But this is my beautiful Staghorn Fern. I actually wanted to mount this plant, but I don't know how that will work with my apartment, and I just have to look into that. But yeah, it still looks really nice in a pot. The next plant that I picked for my favorites might be a shocker because I was just thinking about getting rid of this plant, and this is the Alocasia Friday. This plant is just, even though this plant is a pain in my behind and I can't seem to get it as full as I wanted to, it is so hard to deny that it is not a beautiful plant. Just seeing the veining and how the vein pops against the green, and then if you even get up closer to the foliage, you can even see the patterning in the green. It's just so beautiful. I do have one that's probably on the way out, but I can always clip that off. But like I said, even though this plant is a pain in my behind, it is just so beautiful, and it has been doing rather well for me. Even when I started traveling, it didn't lose a bunch of leaves, and so that's why I put it in my top 5 for this month, because even though I was out and I wasn't watering it like I was supposed to, it's still a gorgeous plant, and those are the plants that I like to have in my collection. The fourth plant that I am absolutely loving, and the reason why I'm loving it even more is because I had actually combined it this month with my other Orbifolia. So if you look at my past videos, I had two Orbifolias. One was a lot bigger than the other, but I did just go ahead and combine them. And so this is what the plant looks like combined. It is so lush and full. And if you guys watch my channel, you know I love lush plants. Now, the only thing with this plant already being kind of big or lush is the fact that it's going to be ginormous when it gets bigger. So I might either have to split it up, or I might have to move it to another spot, or I might have to move some of my other plants. But this plant will not be, I will not get rid of this plant. I will just have to find some kind of way to make it fit into my decor, make it fit into my space without, you know, it taking up everything. But that is my fourth plant. And the last plant that I'm loving is another plant that I combined, and this is my Calathea Vichy. And as you can see, it's opening up its new leaves. This plant is just so gorgeous. It is doing so well. I like it for the fact that I can put it in a lower light spot. It actually prefers a lower light spot. I found that when I put it in a much brighter spot, the leaves tend to curl in because it was getting too much light. And so this has me loving the plant so much more because I can put it in lower light areas. I don't have to worry about giving it extra light. And so I love plants that will allow me to put them in lower light and still grow really well. They are so much more versatile than some of my other plants, such as my anthuriums and some of my philodendrons. But as you can see, this one is growing so well. And I've even been giving my Calatheas tap water, and they still have been growing well. Sometimes I let the water sit out. Sometimes I just give them water straight from the tap. But they have been doing really well with the tap water. And I will probably do a watering video just so you guys can see how I water all my plants. I don't use any fancy watering cans or anything, but when you have such a large collection, it's not about, you know, aesthetics. At least it's not for me. It's not about aesthetics. It's just about how I can get it done the fastest without making a whole bunch of mess. So like I said, these have been doing really well. All of my prayer plants have been doing really well actually, and that's even with my humidity being a lot lower. My humidity has been around the 60s. It has been around 62 to 65%, and it has been feeling so much better in the house. It's not all hot and like muggy, and it's actually like comfortable. So I feel like I finally found a middle ground for my plants where they can grow well and I'm comfortable, and everything is just like very cohesive. But I found that the 60% range is good for everybody. So that's where I'll be trying to keep my humidity from here on out. But like I said, these are my top 5 plants. My plants, I don't know if I'll keep doing top 5 plants or monthly plants. Let me know if you guys like the monthly favorites, because I feel like my plants don't, my taste doesn't really change from month to month unless someone's, you know, just going downhill or someone else is like doing really good. And so let me know if you want me to keep doing these monthly favorites, or if you want me to do like a seasonal favorite, like a spring or summer favorites. That's a good idea as well. But I do like talking about my plants and showing you which ones are doing really well. Some of them aren't doing as well, so maybe I'll do like a I guess it wouldn't be top 5, but the, you know, the worst plants or underperformers in my collection. Maybe I could do that, like a underperformer of the season kind of thing. That's actually probably a good idea. So maybe I'll do that. And so that way you guys get a little bit more variety and you can see more plants in my collection. And I also do want to talk about some plants I think are overrated, especially in my collection, ones I'm not really feeling. And I do have another episode of the transformation series. I want to be treating a lot of my plants because I'm seeing a little bit of bugs here and there. And then I'm also going to be propagating and staking, and I'm really excited for that because I'm like getting the itch to just cut everything up. So those are the next couple of videos coming out on the channel. I just want to thank you guys always thank you for watching my videos, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.